Hey there, and welcome to A Well-Rounded Life, the podcast, a space for creative entrepreneurs seeking an intentional life and biz filled with grace, passion, and purpose. I'm your host, Geomyra. I'm a mama, wife, dessert fanatic, and on the ultimate mission to get you closer to your idea of what it means to live a well-rounded life. Right here is where you'll find curated resources, quick tips, and relatable stories, no matter what season of life you're in. So hang out with me for a bit and let's dive in. What's up, friend? Geomyra here, and I want to know, how are you? How have you been? What's been going on in your world? Because I am back in the studio recording fresh episodes for you because I feel like I haven't talked to you directly in a while. And it makes me feel so good to hear that you guys are all enjoying the episodes and the guests that have joined me thus far for season 5. Our latest episode, number 71, with Nicole Mayfield. You guys loved that episode and found her to be just as inspiring as I have. And it just makes me feel good that we are just getting started. So much more goodness packed into the season, and I cannot wait to share. And speaking of sharing, I want to share with you a resource that my clients and I love so much, which is one of my all-time favorite business tools and resources, HoneyBook, which I have talked about here on the show. HoneyBook is the perfect tool and resource for those of us running a business and looking for the perfect CRM to manage client correspondences, proposals, invoices, contracts, tasks, scheduling, and so much more. It's basically an all-in-one done for you to run your creative business. And the best part about HoneyBook is it is super affordable, and it even allows you a full free month to give them a try on the house. So it's a new quarter, and it's time to make the necessary changes to take your business to the next level. So I want you to go over to bit.ly/LWRHoney for your free trial and save 50% off of your first year of HoneyBook. It is one heck of a deal. All of the details are in our show notes or over on the blog, awellroundedlifepodcast.com/episode 72. Okay, friends. So in today's show, I want to have a big girl conversation with you about a topic that came up in conversation with my 11-year-old daughter, Peyton, aka favorite daughter, as she is known here on the show. And as my daughter has officially entered the preteen stage, holy moly, we are starting to have conversations that I know will make an impact on how she grows into womanhood, how she reacts and responds, and how she moves as a young woman. Thus, I don't take our conversations for granted. I pray before I respond. I give her examples of what life was like when I was her age, things I would do differently, my failures, my wins, and all the things. And that's because I think it is so important, very, very important, to be transparent and to be honest with our children, especially if that is what we are expecting from them. It is definitely something that, I take into consideration, that if I expect for her to be honest with me, then I need to do the same with her. And so my mother very much was upfront with my siblings and myself as she was grooming us and showing us the ways. And so we knew we could go to her with any questions. And I look back and I can say that I did not feel judged by her in a negative light at all, which is such a blessing, because my prayer is that my daughter can say the same thing about me when she is my age, that she always saw something positive from me and that she never felt judged or that she didn't feel like she could come to me, because that is so important. Something else that my mother shared with me is her experiences as it related to relationships with friends and family. My mother was very much outgoing, much more than myself. She was always surrounded by a lot of people. She served her community, church, and was simply more giving than many that I know to this day. However, I cannot help but look back at her relationships with some people and wonder why she continued to pray for them, why she continued to wish them well, and why she continued to allow people in her circle and her space when they did not always do right by her. And the funny thing is, as an adult now with life experiences under my belt and learning about various personality types, the Enneagram, reading books to include the Bible, I get it now. I totally get why she was able to continue to love and support people from afar. even when some of us, even to this day, don't always feel like those people at the time were deserving. But here we are, me having the same conversation with my favorite daughter, having her understand the importance of forgiveness and how forgiveness is more important to our own personal healing and not always about the other person. And recently, our big girl conversation wasn't about forgiveness, but instead about how it is okay to cheer for people, pray for people, and want all the best for someone, even when you are no longer in relationship with them. Think about that. Do you have someone or multiple people in your life that you are no longer in relationship with? And when I say relationship, I don't just mean romantic. Think friendship, community, and so forth. Is there someone that you may have been close to at one point in your life, but they may not have treated you in the way in which you feel you deserve to be treated? I'm raising my hand here. And if you have listened to episode 67 recently, you already know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't listened to episode 67, make sure you definitely go take a listen right after this episode. There have been 2 instances recently where we received news as a family about people that we are no longer in relationship with. Some of the news has been awesome and exciting, and in another case, not good at all. And so when my daughter overheard some of the conversations, aka what I call ear hustling, she couldn't help but ask me regarding the first incident, "Mom, why are you so happy for someone when you no longer even talk to them? You don't even hang out with them. You don't even know what they're doing in their everyday life. I haven't heard you mention this person's name in a very long time." She was genuinely so confused. Like, "Mom, why do you even care?" And I looked her in her eyes and I saw myself in her having a conversation with my mama, trying to understand and navigate life. I remember being a little Geomyra and really trying to process and understand how my mom handled certain situations and wondering, well, why did you do this instead of that? Or why is this okay and this is not okay? And so I saw myself in Peyton and I just knew it was a teachable moment. And so I smiled at her and I said, "Peyton, you know what is so funny and what you will learn as you grow up in life, just because God," or you can insert your higher power here, "if God doesn't feel that you need to be in relationship with someone in this season, that doesn't always mean that you have to stop praying for them, because he always wants us to pray for people. And it doesn't mean that you have to stop loving them and wishing the best for them. It's okay to love people. It's okay to wish well for them. Sometimes he removes them from our lives and sometimes he needs us to stop, communicating. But God wants us to love everybody and he wants us to wish people well. But it doesn't mean that we have to still be having them in our space if it doesn't make us feel good." I said, "Do you know how many people I still pray for to this day that I know for sure I will never, ever, ever be in relationship with ever again? However, I will always wish them well because they are deserving of that. We all are. It is okay to still cheer people on from the sidelines as a spectator, especially with social media. Let's be real. We're all spectators. We know what everybody is doing. People from high school, middle school, elementary, all the things. And so it is okay to cheer people on as a spectator or behind closed doors. Every well wish or even the emotions that you have towards someone doesn't need to be expressed or made public. Sometimes we express some ill will towards people and we regret it and we want to take it down, or we say things out loud and we realize looking back that, that wasn't always the nicest thing. But we live, we learn, and we grow. Because the reality is our feelings are allowed to change, especially when you go through healing and understanding and you understand the power of forgiveness. And most importantly, when you grow the heck up. Even more so, when you understand that relationships and friendships and marriages can even go through seasons. I say it here all the time, like sometimes people are in your life for seasons or reasons, and it is okay to put them in those buckets as needed, put them in the box, take them out the box. Do what you have to do to protect your sanity and to protect yourself, especially if it is not serving you in that season. I went deeper into conversation with Peyton, giving her examples about how in my life I have had to remove myself from toxic environments and situations in order to grow fully into the woman that I am supposed to be. And unfortunately, some of these relationships are with people that are our family members, which she has seen firsthand. I explained to her how the experiences have made me a better woman, a better mother, and a better wife. The feelings of wanting others around me to be blessed and to feel the joy and excitement of some of the things that I have been blessed with will never change. I told her I will never, ever, ever want to stop wishing people all the best. I said, let's face it, I'm an Enneagram 1, which means that we really do go out of our way to make sure everyone around us is okay. Putting others before ourselves sometimes, to a fault. But the core of who I am, the person that I am, is always going to want the best for someone. Because let's be honest, why the hell would you not want the best for someone? Because I would hope you would want someone to want the best for you. Only a person that hasn't fully healed would want for blessings, answered prayers, and opportunities to be denied of anyone at all. Especially when we know that said people are still healing and God is working on their hearts as well. We have to extend grace to those that are still trying to figure things out, just like we all are. It takes some folks longer than others to get to a place of true forgiveness and understanding of what role they play in someone's life. You may not be in communication, contact, or direct relationship with someone, but you can always whisper a prayer for them and want the best for them. And I promise you, when you do, someone else will do the same for you. Your good energy and your good deeds will be returned. Your kindness and your positivity will be highlighted and will bless others around you as you show up and show people what it means to be favored. What it means to be in a place of peace and joy, because honestly, I can thank God that is where I am right now. People who live joy-filled lives do not hold grudges. They do not waste energy on things that will bring them down. They do not spend their time wishing harm or going out of their way to block someone else's blessings or what is destined for them. They do not wish ill will or anybody else or go around speaking negatively about people because it does not serve anyone to do that. It is okay to be a silent prayer warrior, a well-wisher from the stands, a person that smiles at someone else's wins when you're scrolling the gram. It's okay to give a double tap and a like every now and again, leave some hearts. That is all right. I encourage you to do that. Be that person that will always clap when someone else is being blessed, even if you feel like you are being denied your blessing or opportunity in this season. Because I promise you, you need to know that when it is your season, there will be others excited to do the same for you, even if it is in silence. As time goes on and my children, nieces, and nephews get older, I really hope that they can always move in a positive light and take these words and apply them as they mature and walk in their purpose. And my hope is the same for you, friend. Take some time out today to wish someone well, authentically, genuinely, enthusiastically. Take some time to congratulate someone on an answered prayer. Drop some words of encouragement to someone that would least expect it to come from you. As long as your actions and your heart are genuine, it should always sit well with your soul. And you will be blessed in the process. I guarantee you that. I appreciate you for tuning in. If you are tuned in, send me a DM, send me an email. I am at Coach for Creatives over on Instagram and hello@coachingforcreatives.co via email, because I would love to hear from you. And I really hope you did, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review over on Apple Podcasts. Drop us that 5-star rating. It would mean so much. I really do hope you found something from this episode that you can apply, something that you can ponder, something that you can really start to think, how does this fit into my life? Or how can I take this episode and apply it, and then even more so share it so that someone else around me gets the message that they need to hear. Until next time, friend, continue to be a cheerleader and not a person that is holding on to anything negative at all. Positive vibes, positive energy, positive life, and blessings will follow. So stay safe, stay positive, and focus on what matters most. Bye for now, and I will chat with you again next week. Bye, friend. Friends, thanks for kicking it with us this week. Remember to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode airs. I'd love it if you leave us a review and share this goodness with your squad. Until next time, seek a well-rounded life and remember to focus on what matters most.